Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So we're going to start our weekly tag challenge, and in this challenge I think I explained to you guys that we're going to do a tag journal once it's all completed, and I'm going to show you guys all of the elements that I'm using to get this tag journal started. Today I'm just going to pick at random any one of these and then cross it off to show that we've done that one. I'm just going to find a colorful pen here. So in the tag challenge, these are the categories, and I'll zoom you in just so you can see what I've selected to do for the tag challenge. All right, so here we have our weekly tag challenge. I've decided to do 8 weeks just because I've come up with 8 different types of tags, and that's the category. And then the material can be anything, right? So you can use 2 or 3 or however many you want on these for decorating. And then the toppers will be one of each of these for any one of your tags. You can do one for all 4 or a different one for each one. So I'm going to mass make these, or at least attempt to mass make these, and I'm going to change this up just a little bit. Let's do, instead of 4, I'll leave it at 3 or 4. Okay, so that would be what I consider a mass make. If you can make 3 or more of something, then you're mass making it. Anything more than 2 is a mass make if it's the same item, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna say either 3 or 4. It doesn't have to be a mass make if you don't want it to be, but yeah, that's how I'm doing it, so that I can get a nice chunky little journal, because this is what we're doing right here. We're making a tag journal. Okay, so here are my categories again. Washi tag. I can do a full tag full of washi, any design that I want. I can do one with the belly band, a side tuck, a front pocket. I'm going to do a tuxedo pocket, a swing pocket with a hidden a swing tag with a hidden pocket on the front, a multi-layer tag, as well as an envelope tag, and I'm really interested in how I'm going to do that. I'm so excited. All right, so for my material, I'm going to use newspaper, book page. I can stamp on it. I can use washi stickers. I can do Tim Holtz little people, paper dolls, stencils, rub-on transfer. I can use pretty paper pack to decorate the front of my tag. I can also use journal paper or receipts. Okay, and for my toppers, here I have ribbon, paper tabs, so those little whale tabs you've seen me use. I can do just a simple eyelet, clothespins, 3D rays, so that means Scrabble piece, a pom-pom, a button, a felt flower, or a chipboard piece, right? So you've seen me use those chipboard pieces in the index card Scrabble piece challenge as well. All right, so for today, I'm going to do a side tuck. All right, and I'm just going to put a little check mark right here. And I haven't decided how I'm going to decorate it yet, so let's just cross this one off. We're definitely doing a side tuck today, and then I can use any of these to decorate them. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys the basic 3 ways that I know how to do a side tuck on a tag. All right, and of course my tags has to be 5 by 7 in order to make a journal. This is the size that I'm going with. Okay, all right, I think that's pretty much all we need to know for now. So let's zoom you back out. And so the last time we were here, I made these tags right here. These are going to go into my bumblebee journal. As you can see, this is some of the bumblebee paper. I kind of started getting bored of that, and that's why I went in with some washi and made these cute little tags right here to go into that bumblebee junk journal. All right, so there's 2 or 3 ways that I know how to do a side tuck for a tag. And today I'm just using these little, this is just some green cardstock that I've cut down to 5 by 7, right? And this is my base for the process for the tag. Okay, I cut them down to 5 by 7, and so here's how I'm going to do the first one. So these are just some extras that I've cut down in this green color. Maybe next week we'll use a different color. Yeah, let's do that. Let's like change up the basis every week and do a different color. For this, let's do this one first. This one I think is one of my favorites. This is just a really simple 2-piece tag. When you cut down an 8.5 by 11 paper, you're going to see that you have all of this left over, right? Here's my tag, and here's all what we have left over to play with. And once you've cut, if you cut your 7 first, you'll have a lot more to play with, and it also leaves you with a lot of pieces of paper that is also the same height that you need for everything else. Okay, so including your spine, because we have to do a little spine on all of these tags, which are these little 1-inch strips right here that I've scored at 1/2 inch. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, all I've done was I cut my 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper down and left me with all of this to play with. And then I went ahead and cut down 2 more pieces of 7 by, I don't know, what is this? 7 by 3.5. And all I did was I just took my 2 sheets of paper, line them up with the same size of the tag, and then cut the same angle right off. Okay, does that make sense? And then all I did was took my 2 sheets of paper, ran a bead of art glitter glue. Where is it? Don't fall, please don't fall. Okay, add a bead of art glitter glue right down the middle right there, and we already have our side tuck. So let me just find something to play with to tuck. So here's a little packaging. You already have your side tuck, guys. It's really that simple. You glue this onto the back of your journal card, right? The actual journal, and now you have your side tuck. It's hidden for the most part. If you're looking at the pretty side that we're going to decorate, it's hidden. And yeah, and what you can do is tuck the glue the bottom and leave the top open, or glue the top and leave the bottom open. That gives you a lot more versatility for tucking things in. You're not going to tuck a whole bunch of stuff in here. I would even just tuck another tag in there. So there's one option for doing this. You will need just one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to accomplish this. And yeah, all right, so that's one. The other option is to take your entire sheet of 8.5 by 11. All right, that would be this. I'm grabbing my large scoreboard here, and I'm going to give you the score marks to make this accordion style of hidden tag. All right, it's just basically one whole tag connected. There's no, there is only one piece to this, and I'll give you the score marks to get this exactly like this. And all you're going to do is glue your top and bottom, and then you have yourself a little side pocket. All right, so here we're going to score at, where is my scoring tool? Lost the scoring tool. Here we go. Okay, you're going to score at 5 inches on this 8.5 by 11. So I'm just going to score here at 5. Okay, and then I'm going to score at 7 3/4 and score at 10.5. Okay, and we're going to remove this 1/2 inch between the 10.5 and 11, so that's going to go away. Right, we're going to cut that away, and then you're just going to fold your 5-inch score mark in half, and then you're going to fold back your this is your 7 3/4 inch score mark. Okay, you see how nice that evens up. And then here we go. And I know you really can't see it looking like a tag, but once you cut it down into your tag shape, then you end up with this right here, okay? And this is where your tuck space will become, right? So there's your tuck. So once I've cut it down to the size that I want it to be, this is how it looks. It's a bit of an accordion type of tag, but when you glue it all together, you'll end up with this nice little tuck space back here behind the tag itself. And the other way, the third way that I'm going to do a hidden, what is it, a side tuck tag. Okay, so we're doing a side tuck tag. You just take 2 pieces of the same size tag, put a bead of glue, and I wouldn't do it all the way at the edge. What's going to happen is that you're going to end up gluing both of these together. So let's just do it, right? And then all we have left to do is decorate. I'm going to put a bead of glue right down here, and all of this side right here will be glued together. Okay, so all of this right here is going to be glued together, and we're going to end up with the exact same. Here, I'll just move it over just a little bit more, get a straight line. Okay, and then we're going to just place our front part of our tag directly on top of it. Okay, and now we have the same thing, right? A side tuck. Okay, and if you want, you can then glue the bottom side here and make it a two-sided tuck, which gives you a little bit more stability on the card itself, and then you can just tuck anything you like right in here. Okay, all right, so there's that. Those are our 3 types of side tucks that we're going to be doing. Let's just go ahead and start decorating these, because that's the fun part. I'm really excited about that, so I'll be back in 2 ticks. Alright guys, so I went and grabbed some of my decorative paper, which is really not, it's just old newspaper. I went ahead and inked it with 2 colors. I used ground espresso and rusty hinge, and got something like this and this on some of the newspaper, right? Then I went ahead and layered on top of it some stencils. So I used my Tim Holtz Stamperia collection of stamps. This is his ink blotch and coffee ring stencil. And then I grabbed one of my more generic ones. I think I picked this up at, let's say Alibaba, maybe AliExpress. And yeah, this is just an oversized stencil which I've been using to ink the newspaper with, and I only used 2 stencils, so just this top part and this one gave me all of this. So as you can see, like the variation that you can get with just 2 stencils, these 2 are the exact same. One has black ink on it, so I used black soot distress ink, and one has ground espresso, and that is what you end up with. 2 completely different pieces. Plus this one, I didn't ink the base, I just inked the stencil. Alright, so there's that. And then I went ahead and just put a little bit of the coffee rings around here, and a little bit of ink splotch up there. So just a couple of ways that you can get the same results that looks different, right? So here's some more ink splotches. All of this has been inked with ground espresso and rusty hinge. Some of it was inked heavier than others, and that's how you create variations in your pieces if you're creating it from scratch, right? So this is just, again, some old newspaper that I inked with my inking brush and created some of this. So I have these last 3 pieces here left to do, and I'm just going to let's see, I can do something like this where I'll leave that one for last. I'll do both of these as if they're one continuous note, and I'm going to use my black soot distress ink, and you just go in fairly lightly until you got it all covered, and then you can tell what sections you want to go in heavier with the ink. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'll go in a little bit heavier down here at this end to match the top. And yeah, there we have that. So there's these two pieces right here that are one stencil, two separate pieces that look completely different. Let's grab this one. And for this last one, I'm just going to do some ink splotches with my black soot, seeing that I'm holding the brush. And yeah, I'm just going to go in with some ink splotches all through here. And now we have that. So simple, right guys? All right, let me close this stuff up so I don't make a mess on my actual cards. So yeah, just 3 colors. I just used Rusty Hinge, Ground Espresso, and Black Soot. Rusty Hinge and Ground Espresso are Distress Oxides, and my Black Soot, this time I used Distress Ink because we were doing ink splotches. Let's close this all up. Ooh, get that off of there. Here are my 3 tags that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you a couple of things I've discovered during the process. Let me clean my fingers off so I don't get them all dirty. During the process of gluing these together, you can now decide, like, okay, how creative can I be with these tags? Okay, so I glued them together to create my side pockets, my side tuck spot or pocket. And here's what I came up with, right? So let's start with the basic one. This is the 2 pieces of tags glued together to make one side tuck. And I'll show you how far down this goes. It's about 3/4 of the way over, and it goes all the way down. So this is about a 6-inch, yeah, this is a 6-inch card. And this right here fits all the way down inside of there, like so, right? So you'd have to put something that's a little bit taller so that you can actually pull it out, and it goes all the way to the side here. So this entire thing is open, just like that, to create a side tuck. The next one that I did was the, which one is this? Okay, so this one is the one that we glued another piece of half tag shape, right onto the back there, creating its own little fold right there. But when I glued it together, I realized, hey, I've got 2 tuck spots. So now we have a double tuck spot back here. So let me just show you what that looks like. This again is a 6-inch card. This is a full tuck spot back here, and now we have one right up here in the front as well. Okay, so it's a double tuck just by happenstance that worked out this way. Okay, so there we have our 2 tuck spots. And then with the accordion style tag that we made, this one also has 2 tuck spots, but in 2 different spots. So there's a full tuck back here, right? And then right up here on the top, we have this little pocket. By gluing this back piece together to the tag, leaving our accordion folded in the front, and yeah, now we have two completely different tuck spots just by happenstance, right? So it's all about how you glue it together is how you'll create the variations. And of course, this is just our standard one. Okay, let's talk about our hinges. Okay, so to hinge these together, I went ahead and used some of my leftover scrap green paper after cutting all of these tags down, and I gave myself a 1-inch spine for each of these, right? So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to take each one of these, score it in half. So if it's 1 inch, score it at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to place them here on the side of each of the tags, right? Just one side of it. because the other side of it is where we're going to put 3 whole, let's say 3 holes. I can even put 5 holes. I can put however many holes as I want on here, because we're just going to clip it together with a those little clips. Let me show you. I think I have one. I think I have one right here. So imagine they're all connected, and then right here they all have like a little 1/2 inch sticking out on the side. So we'll just clip them together, or attach them together via that binder ring. I gotta find those. Anyway, let's decorate. Okay, so here we have our 3 tags. I want to make sure that my side, that the tuck is facing always to the right, because once you glue them together, let's say you glue one this way, now you have a tuck on your spine, and that's a problem. So all of our spines will be on the left, all of our openings will be on the right. Okay, so there's that. And I'm not gonna pick and choose which one I'm doing first. I'm just going to grab my, let's grab the pink silicone mat and start decorating these with some glue. Okay, so here's this. I'm just gonna grab some, let's do some craft bond today, some nice permanent glue, and I'm just going to cover the entire thing so that it's not, so that none of this green is showing on the other side, on the back side of it. So yeah, I'm just gonna place some glue down. Whatever is overhanging, we can always tear it away later, but I want to make sure that my entire base is covered. So yes, today we're using newspaper as our decorative piece to create our background. Okay, and then let's grab some of this, and it doesn't even have to all go in the same direction. You can do whatever you like, guys. It's your project. Do what you like. Okay. So this will go like right here. And now I need just a little sliver to go down the center there. So what I'll do is I'll tear this at about here. And decide that it's gonna go here. Wow, I missed a whole section to be inked on this one. Let's see if I can remedy that really quickly. Let's just grab, oh no, let's just grab my brown dauber, and there, problem fixed. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but it did. Okay, so right in here is where I'll place this other piece, and I'll just tear this off. Okay. All right, looking good so far. So sexy. Let's leave it like that with just one more little piece down here. I'll figure this section out in a minute. I'll just turn this one on its side. Yeah. Yep. That'll work. Okay. So there's that. This is our first little tag that we've done. I'm going to cut away all the excess now. Get this part out of the way so it goes back to looking like a tag. Okay. So there's that, and now let's do the other ones really quickly as well. this right here where I tore it needs a little bit of ink. Okay. So now that I've done that, I can now take one of these pieces and fill in right there, right? Nothing wasted. Alrighty, there's that. Set that aside to dry. Let's do our next piece. I'm going to do the exact same thing, just cover it with scotch. Is this scotch? No, Elmer's Craft Bond. Yeah, let's just play with paper and glue. Okay, I covered the whole thing because I think I'm going to use this large piece right here and cheat so that this whole thing is covered immediately. Right. And then whatever we place on top of it is extra. So I just want to make sure that all my corners are covered in glue before I cut anything off. Okay. So there's that. So yeah, we will lose some of our ink splotch, but I'm okay with it. And let's just chomp this down to the right size. All right, and then we can always ink it. So here's this one. I'm just gonna grab my whatever's on my dauber, and I'll go around the edges here and ink this. And I'll probably ink them all just to keep them consistent. So yeah. And this is just whatever's on my brown dauber. I think this is ground espresso. Okay, so there's that one. Let's do this third one. And again, my opening is on the right. I like how this turned out. This was actually a map of the United States that I went over with that stencil, which came out really pretty. Okay, so here I'm just gonna place something right up here at the top. And then I'll place this right on top of it. Capture all of my glue and use it in the project. Okay, so here I'm just going to place this right on top here, making sure I cover it all up. I want to hide all of that green. Okay. And then if there's any green showing, you will ink around the edges, so that's fine. Alright, so let's get this back to the tag shape so I can see what pieces of this I can use. Oh, that's nice. Alright, so I can place this down here. And I can place my ink splotch right on top of it. Yep, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Let's see. And the last piece, I think all I have left are ink splotches now. Let's see what my last piece is going to be. Here is some more of that letter. not wide enough. But here's some ink splotch, also not wide enough. And I think that's right at the edge, so I'll have to use this much larger. I hate that it's just the same. Like, how did you spill ink in the same? You know, logically, it's just the same. So I'll have to go sideways with this one, and I'll place it right there because who cares? It doesn't matter. Right there. Okay. So feel for wherever you have lifting. Mostly it'll be in the corners. Make sure your corners are down. And get it all glued in. Okay? My prompts over here. So I did newspaper. So I can do rub-on transfers, or I did some stencils. So yeah, I covered 2 of those already. Let's just grab some decorative, let's just grab some decorative pieces to go like directly on top of this. And then first I will, let's cover this in gesso to protect it. So let me go grab my gesso and I'll be back. 2 takes. So this is what my clear gesso looks like. I use Artist Acrylics, and this is their clear gesso. And what I do is I take my clear gesso and I place it in a little jar like this, and I add some Mod Podge with it because clear gesso tends to be a little gritty. So I mix my clear gesso a little bit with some matte Mod Podge, and that's the yellow label. By the way, I think they have a glossy, and they have outdoor. There's all kinds of Mod Podge that you can possibly use. The matte is the yellow label. These are some, you know, back in the day there was a dot matrix printer. And these are the little tabs that run alongside the paper that fits into the matrix print, the dot matrix printer. It fed off of those these little holes right here. The printer had it had like a little spool, or you know, I don't know, wheel, and the holes just fit perfectly along that wheel that had the notches on it, and your paper went through it. It's so old, but this right here I got from not this, but the paper itself. With these, I just tore these off the sides. They're perforated. I got this from an artist when I was out in Arizona. She did a watercolor class, and I had nothing else to do, so I took the class. You're going to hear some contractors in the background talking. I do apologize for that. My home is still under construction. So what I was thinking about doing is just decorating this paper with this tab, this perforated tab paper. And what I'm going to do is just art glitter glue. That's all. It's just gonna fit directly on here, work really well. So I don't know if I placed die cuts on my list of things that I can use in this process, but I'm definitely cheating if that's the case. So what I'll do is I'll add die cuts to the materials list of things that you can decorate your tags with. I almost said index card, obviously. And again, this is not a challenge for everyone. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. You can do 1 or 2, and you don't even have to do, like, you know, the mass make process. I'm only doing it this way because there are various variations of tags for each style. So I'm just trying to give you guys different options to use if you are participating in this challenge. So I'm just going to lay this down here. The important part is this end over here. Just want to make sure that wherever I place it, this end over here is lined up with the edge of the tag. I'm sorry it's so noisy in my home right now, but they are working out some changes, and yeah, it's gonna be noisy. I had this like perfectly right where I want it, but once you add art glitter, that's it, right? So close enough. right? So yeah, I can just snip off this edge right over here. Not bad. I think I got it right where I actually wanted it to be. So there's that piece. So on this one, I am going to do something like so. This will go across the bottom here. Just going to put a bead of glue kind of like this. I don't want the holes to be consumed with glue because I didn't glue this part. I'm gluing this part instead. So yeah, that's working out perfect. And then whatever is is hanging off the edge, I'll just snip it. So that one's done. And let's see, this one down here is going to get some die cuts. So what I'm gonna do on this one, here's some die cut leaves, whoops, that I just glued to the top of this bar, this paper. I wasn't really thrilled about it showing like that. So what I decided to do is grab another one of these and lay it right on top, lining those holes up and making sure that everything is nice and even. And yeah, and then it looks like it's inside of it, right? So let's just do that really quickly. I'm just gonna add some glue here, here. Whoops, not in the holes, Nicole. Gosh. Here, 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 and here. Along the top and the bottom. And let's make sure that this is the way the holes go. So yeah, the door's closed. Alright, so yeah, this right here will go right there. And let's just put a bead of glue right like so, and then this will go right on top of it, just like that. Straight, of course, not crooked. Okay, and then whatever's hanging off on the edge, we'll just snip that away. So this is going to look like that. This is going to look like this. On this one, let's see, I have here my little die cut birdies. I went ahead and painted them with watercolor paint. You see that right there. Yeah, so I'm just going to glue these little birds like directly down right on here. So I'm going to just put a little bead of glue on the twig that they're standing on, or the branch that they're standing on. I just painted this with watercolor paint, and yeah, I thought it came out pretty nice actually. So it's just a plain piece of scrap cardstock that I used, some packaging that would have ended up in the trash anyway, and I used it to make my little bird die cuts. So there's that. That's gonna go just like that. All right, and on, let's see, maybe on this one, what I'll do is I'll use the little birdies to give me a stencil. Like, why throw this away? This part right here is a cool little stencil. I can mimic those birds right there, or I can actually take my watercolors and paint these little birds in. You know, this is just a water pen. It has water in it. You just, you know, touch the color that you want and paint the item that you want to paint. But I think I'll just use it as a stencil and ink directly onto this card right here, and it will mimic that one. So let's find a pretty color. Let's do something pretty. I'm just gonna, let's see, maybe purple, maybe red. Do I have a red ink? I have a pink. Let's see. Oh, I know what I have. I have aged mahogany. That's close enough to red. Let me just get it out here. It's the one I use the least of, but this is my aged mahogany. So I'll just get a little bit of ink on it, And then let's just stencil these little birds directly on here. Sort of a silhouette, right? Not really there, but you know it's there because you can see it. So I'll just do something like this. All in one color, so it definitely looks silhouette-y. Silhouette-y, there's a word for you. Aw, it came out pretty. That's pretty. And with the clear gesso underneath it as a base, it really does stand out. I think that came out pretty cute. Okay, let's close this up. I'll clean that brush off later. I'll wipe this down because I really like this stencil right here, so I'll probably use it again with a different color maybe. I'll hang it to dry. Okay. And yeah, so let's just wrap this all up. Here we have our 3 tags that we're going to use in this project. These are our side tuck tags, side tuck tags, and I think I showed you guys where the tucks were. Here's one right here, here's one here, and at the top, because this is the one that's accordion folded, and here's one with the double tuck. So there's a one in the front and one in the back. Okay, so let's add our little spines onto them. And I think I decided that we're going to do the spine on the backs of these, but on the fronts of the other ones, because we can always decorate on top of the little bulge that's on there. And I'm just going to use some fabric, what is this, art glitter. Art glitter. It's getting late in the day, guys. This may be a 1-hour video for you, but with all the drying of the ink and gesso and everything, it's been an all-day video for me. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right on the edge before you get to that fold mark, that 1/2 inch fold mark, and it's going to go right there. Right, I'll do another one, same concept. And you know, you would think with all this time that I've had, I would have looked for the little rings that we're going to be using in this project, but I did not. So that's something I need to go do. Alright, and what you want to do is just make sure that the top of your tab matches up with this little corner of the tag. Alright, so this is our spine tab. It's okay if it hangs off at the bottom. That's easier to cut off than to try to fix it up here. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a little smush. Make sure that there's no hindrance on the spine of this little guy, and there's that. And then we'll do one more. If I could pick it up, it'll go right here. And I thought I measured these out pretty well, but it seems like, yeah, this one's fine. It might have just been that one that was a little bit too long. Okay, and then I see a little piece of this hanging off. We'll get rid of that. And do I need any glue in here? Just a little bead right there. Okay. Alrighty. So here are our 3 tags for the Tag a Week challenge. It's gonna look like this one, and that one, and then that one, and we'll put them all together into the little binder rings that I talked about, never went and looked for. And then next week we'll do another 3 tags. I don't know which one we're going to do, but this is the list. Here I'm going to add die cuts on here. Okay, there's my sloppy handwriting. So yeah, today we did the side tuck, and I've crossed that one off the list. But for all the others, we can do any of these, any of those. So I'm just gonna leave you guys right here. What I'm gonna do is put all my toppers on at the end and see how that goes, because you know, it's questionable. It's questionable if we even need a topper. So, and then that may become cumbersome, having all these toppers at the top of a book. But we'll just see. We'll just see how it goes. But right now we're doing a tag a week, and this is what I came up with. So I want to leave you guys like right here. Hope you guys have a super crafty day. Go do something wonderful. And when you get a chance, go ahead and check out my new link down in the description box. It's a link that'll take you to all of my everything. So it's all of my information all in one link, and you'll see it right below the maybe the music credit. So yeah, just click on that link. It'll take you directly to all of my links, and it's all in one place, and you can find everything that you need from there. There are still some Amazon stuff on that in the description box, but I tried to get all of it into my Amazon storefront, so you can go check that out. All right, guys, thanks so much for subscribing to the channel. It's astronomical how fast the channel has grown since we've got to the 1,000 subscriber mark. So thanks to each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks to each and every one of you for liking with your little thumbs up. Click that little thumbs up button, and don't forget to share these videos, because it does help the channel to continue to grow. All right, so I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Stay naturally curious, okay? Bye.